Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and Samsung came out with two different versions of its flagship Android phone this year, the Galaxy S6 and then the Galaxy S6 Edge, which you've probably heard a lot about. The regular Galaxy S6 I reviewed as its own standalone phone. It's great. In a lot of ways, it's one of the best phones you can buy. But then the Edge is, as the name implies, a little bit physically different. It has a curve over the edge of both sides of the glass. And that costs $100 more for this version. So you better get something out of it. So what exactly do you get for your $100? Internally, these phones are identical. So they're the same phone, same chip, same RAM, same camera, same everything. Objectively, the only real difference between them is the display and the dimensions. So the Galaxy S6 Edge is a tiny bit thicker than the regular S6. It's 7mm thick and actually houses a slightly larger battery, a 2600 milliamp hour battery. So not a huge difference, but worth noting. The biggest difference though from the build comes with the feel in the hand. So since the glass wraps around the sides of the phone and sort of extends the display a bit in an immersive way, it also means you get less of a side of the phone to hold onto when you're using it. And this is something you find out more and more as you're using the phone, but I found if I grip the phone the wrong way or squeeze it at all, I would actually start clicking things on the screen by accident. But if I was too careful to not touch the screen at all, then you're basically just holding onto a sharp metal edge, and that actually got uncomfortable after a while. There's significantly less material to hold on the sides, and because of the angles and the way it's built, you're really not holding onto a metal side, you're holding onto a metal rail to pick up and hold the phone. It does make the phone look and feel super thin, and it is eye-catching, believe me, but this turned into a case of feeling like a little bit too thin. Now, Samsung does build in some neat software features to take advantage of the new shape, so it's not as extreme as the curve on the Note 4 Edge, which is only on one side, but this is a little bit more convenient here since you can choose which side any of these features show up on. So you get Edge lighting for incoming calls, People Edge for a quick swipe in to contact your favorite people, Information Stream to show notifications and info on the Edge, and the Night Clock. I found the Night Clock and the Information Stream to actually make the most sense since they take advantage of the OLED display and only light the Edge pixels when you have them in use so they don't waste any battery. But they're actually the features that I use the least because I just never felt compelled to use them, even though I feel like they'd be very easy to use. But the ones I did use are the People Edge and the Edge lighting. They're very cool. So I have a few favorite contacts available, and you can swipe in from, only the home screen. You can pull in that tab from the home screen at any time to contact them. And you can see they have a little ring around their picture with a color. And you got to remember these colors from when you get in contact with these people. Anytime they contact me, they're associated with that color. So if I miss a call from one of them, I get a sort of a side notification in addition to the one up top. That gives me info on that missed call from one of my favorite contacts. And it lets me ping them back if I want to right from there. It's nothing you couldn't do with a regular screen, but having the curve there makes this feel more natural. And any incoming call from a favorite contact, while your phone is face down on the table, will light up the edges with that phone's that contact's color. So you know who it is before you pick it up. The funny thing is, I didn't want to put this all-glass phone face down on a table that often, but it was a nice thing to see it work. But that's about it for the Edge-specific features. Everything else about that Edge display is just aesthetics, just the crazy way it looks. People really like this. Apps suddenly feel a lot more immersive when it feels like there's no bezel at all. Content and images just sort of spill over the sides of the phone with no barrier. And the fact that it's curved makes a lot of the swiping more pleasant too. All the new apps with the new drawer that swipe in from the side, especially all the good Google apps, they will be more comfortable to use because of this curve. This is probably a great phone for Tinder with all that swiping. So yeah, it's just not an aesthetically unique thing, but it actually has a little bit of benefit over the everyday use. The one thing to watch out for is glare and distortion. Again, since it's a curve, if it weren't curved, we would just be saying this is a phone with zero side bezel. But the curve introduces a little bit of glare problems that the regular Galaxy S6 doesn't have to worry about. I mean, there's almost no position that you can hold the edge and not get any glare from somewhere. And there's also a little bit of light fall off on the far edges with the curve. And then yeah, distortion can be a factor with full screen media too. You'll notice that. So long story short, when I was introduced to both the phones, the Galaxy S6 Edge and the regular Galaxy S6, I really liked the Edge version a lot more. But this is one of those cases where the initial impression is a little bit different from the final verdict. I originally said the Galaxy S6 Edge could be its own standalone phone, and the regular Galaxy S6 is a sort of a backup in case this doesn't work. But now, because it's $100 extra, it's sort of a different case, and as cool as it is, the Edge screen probably isn't worth the extra $100 to most people. It does look really cool on a table and in the hand, and it does seem a lot thinner and a lot different, and it does differentiate itself from a normal phone, but when you consider the price difference, it's a little harder to justify. Maybe we'll see Edge versions of Samsung phones that aren't a full $100 more than their regular counterparts in the future, but until then, I'd say hold off, even though it looks pretty awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.